Now at 10 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, a Victoria man accused of murder is now facing a new charge.
The hearing into the attempted assassination of Donald Trump continues following the Secret Service director's resignation.
Independent presidential candidate RFK Jr. could lack the votes to be on the Texas ballot. The reasons why tonight.
It's quieted down for the moment. 76 degrees in Victoria. Feel like temperature is 76 degrees as well. A lot of humidity for more storms tomorrow. We'll take a look at that coming up in your forecast.
And Texas High School Coaches Association implements new rules for the upcoming season. That's in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
It's an alert day, so let's take a first look at your first warned storm team forecast. In for Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis, meteorologist Trey Meinig joins us now with a look at what's going on outside. Trey, we've got a small break in the rain. Trey, how long will this break last?
Well, looking like tomorrow morning we'll get some more storms forming along the coastline, working their way inland. As a matter of fact, we have a few storms near Palacios up to Bay City. This is along a weak boundary that's located right here. That's why these storms are still hanging on as compared to the other storms that are pretty much faded out because of the loss of daytime heat, because there's a little boundary here that's creating more uplift. This will be important because it's close to our area with the tropical moisture moving in. More storms on the way again tomorrow. Because of that, there is a flash flood watch in effect for areas from Jackson County toward the Houston-Galveston area, where those include Edna area, Wharton, Ocampo, and Matagorda counties for heavy rain that's already fallen here, and more heavy rain to come. Flooding potential is there, not only here, but also in other parts of the Crossroads region, so we need to be weather aware, and we will keep you that way. And how long will this rain last? When will the rain come to an end? I'm seeing that sometime in the forecast. I'll let you know when that'll be a little bit later on in the full forecast just for you. Back to you guys.
Trey, thank you. Victoria police arrested a 20-year-old man July 10th on charges of murder. Trayvon Martinez was in the hospital getting treatment for lacerations when officers arrested him. Martinez is accused of stabbing to death his 45-year-old mother, Virginia Martinez. She was found on the 600 block of East Water Street in an SUV that crashed into a fence. Martinez was mentally cleared to go to jail. Now, along with the murder charge, Martinez faces a charge of assault causing bodily injury. He remains at the Victoria County Jail in lieu of bonds totaling $505,000. Victoria County deputies arrested a 44-year-old man Monday. Gabriel Valdez of Victoria is charged in Atascosa County with aggravated assault causes serious bodily injury. He is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of $75,000 bond. One of the two people killed over the weekend in a Mississippi drive-by shooting was the estranged husband of a Jackson woman.
Her family is blaming him for that disappearance, but police say there's no evidence they were involved in that shooting.
We do have information that an individual drove up in a black sedan, let down the rear window, and opened fire on all of these people in that parking lot.
And one of the people killed is this man, 48-year-old Derek Coleman. He's seen here in a courtroom back in December. He was in court because he was found guilty of violating a no-contact order against his wife, Latasha Crump Coleman. She disappeared just over a year ago and has not been seen or heard from ever since. Jackson Police Chief Joseph Wade says at this time the investigation does not lead him to believe that the family of Latasha Crump Coleman is connected to this killing.
I do not know if he was the intended target. I don't know who even did the shooting. We're looking at every angle of this incident. We're not going to leave a stone unturned.
When it comes to Coleman and his wife, her family members believe Coleman had information about what happened to her. However, police could not make that connection. The conflict between the two families dates back to 2022. On July 25th of that year, Coleman was found guilty of violating a no-contact order related to several domestic violence charges filed by his wife. The 48-year-old was then sentenced to serve 6 months in jail. Nearly a year later, on July 18th, 2023, that's when Latasha Crump Coleman went missing. On December 7th of that same year, both families then got into a fight after Coleman made a court appearance in Hinds County. This year, on June 28th, Coleman was released from jail on bond. Less than a month later, on July 21st, he was shot and killed. Chief Wade says they were actually planning to speak with Coleman about his wife's disappearance prior to this fatal shooting.
We look forward to speaking with him again and gleaning more additional information to try to locate Ms. Crump Coleman, because we know the pain and suffering that her family has been experiencing. With him losing his life, is going to make it just that harder, or much harder for us to solve that case, but we're going to continue to work to bring her home.
The other person killed in the shooting is the owner of the gas station where it took place. 4 other people were also injured.
President Biden's visit to Austin is back on for next Monday. The Texas Tribune reports Biden will speak at the LBJ Presidential Library to commemorate the 60th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The Austin trip was first scheduled for July 15th, but was postponed after the attempted assassination on former President Trump. By the way, LBJ was the last president before Biden to withdraw from re-election in 1968.
Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle has resigned in the wake of the attempted assassination on former President Donald Trump. Cheadle and the Secret Service have faced intense scrutiny over security lapses related to that assassination attempt. On Monday, she testified before Congress and was unwilling to answer many of the committee's questions. Her resignation comes as lawmakers and a government watchdog continue to investigate the agency's handling of Trump's protection. For now, Secret Service Deputy Director Roland Rowe is leading the agency. So here is your viewer poll tonight. The question is, do you think Kimberly Cheadle's resignation from the Secret Service was the right choice? Yes or no? According to our results, it looks like 78% voted yes, and the remaining 22% stand at no. Thank you for voting tonight.
Now, the House Homeland Security Committee held a hearing today as lawmakers continue looking into the attempted assassination of former President Trump. Several members of this committee visited the site of the shooting in Butler, Pennsylvania yesterday. Today, they heard testimony from 2 law enforcement officers, Colonel Christopher Paris, the Pennsylvania State Police Commissioner, and Patrick Yose, the national president of the Fraternal Order of Police.
I, for one, was struck by how close the unsecured building from which Thomas Crooks took his shot was to the stage where President Trump was standing. What we saw yesterday only raises more questions about how this roof was unsecured. And after several of our committee members climbed on the roof, let me tell you, any excuse about the roof being too steep to post a counter sniper team up there is pure nonsense.
Today's hearing comes on the same day Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle stepped down after bipartisan calls for her resignation. Victoria County deputies arrested a 55-year-old woman today. Dina Glosson of Victoria faces 4 charges, including manufacture and delivery of a controlled substance and tampering with physical evidence with intent to impair. She is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of $51,000 bond.
Texas Democrats are trying to block independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. from getting on the state's ballot. Democrats previously tried to block Kennedy's ballot access in 7 other states. They claim most of these signatures on his ballot petition failed to meet state requirements. Independent presidential candidates must submit just over 113,000 valid signatures to qualify. In May, Kennedy's campaign submitted more than 245,000 signatures, but in a letter to the Texas Secretary of State, Democrats claim enough of those signatures violate state laws to render his petition invalid.
Cowboys owner Jerry Jones and a woman who claims he is her biological father reached a settlement today that ended proceedings in a lawsuit at the U.S. federal courthouse in Texarkana. Jones's attorney said the suit was resolved after Jones, Alexandra Davis, and her mother, Cynthia Davis, had lunch together. After a judge dismissed Alexandra Davis's defamation lawsuit against Jones, he brought the countersuit against the 27-year-old and her mother, claiming they breached a contract that dates back more than 25 years.
Fire crews in West Texas are battling a fire at a commercial building, spewing massive plume of smoke into the sky. Authorities from the city of Odessa say the fire started early this morning at the Permian Basin containers. The city says there are no harmful fumes came from that fire and that Odessa Fire Rescues is on the downhill side of extinguishing the fire. No injuries have been reported and investigators are actively working to determine the cause of the blaze.
Let's Grow Texas Ag Part 2 Calhoun County debuts on KMOL Wednesday night at 6:30 and on Saturday night on that station at 6:30. Let's Grow Texas Ag will be on KXTS Friday night at 10 and on Saturday morning at 11. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell, then no.
You can watch us on YouTube.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. New figures are showing the amount of heat-related deaths reported in one Arizona county. We take a look at those numbers straight ahead on 25 News Now at 10.
Also ahead, some parts of Yellowstone National Park closed off today after a hydrothermal explosion.
A disturbing report from Maricopa County in Arizona reveals the heat has taken a deadly toll there.
Figures show the heat is to blame for at least 27 deaths, but the hot temperatures are suspected in nearly 400 other deaths so far this year. Phoenix is having its hottest start to summer on record. Authorities say temperatures in June were hotter than last year, and July has been nearly as warm as last year when Phoenix recorded the hottest temperatures of any U.S. city. Iowa is set to become the latest state to implement a heartbeat bill. That means abortions will become illegal as soon as a fetal heartbeat can be detected. The state Supreme Court denied Planned Parenthood's request to rehear a challenge to the law Monday. The law does have exceptions for cases of rape, incest, and medical emergencies. One of the reasons heartbeat bills are so controversial is because they ban abortions before many women realize they are pregnant.
You know, we have highs right now in the mid-80s for several days. We're catching a break
We
right
feel
now
okay
from the heat. But with the summer in full swing, the heat has been fierce across the country.
In recent research, healthy, safe rates have been examined in relation to heat, particularly with future mothers.
Summer of 2023 was Earth's hottest since global records began in 1880, according to scientists at NASA. This summer, health scientists warn of a link between heat waves and adverse outcomes in pregnancy. In a new multi-institutional study, researchers reviewed 53 million birth records from the 50 most populous U.S. metropolitan areas during the 25-year period from 1993 to 2017. Babies born early are at higher risk of death than those born at full term. The rates of preterm and early term births increased when local temperatures were abnormally hot for more than 4 consecutive days. Researchers point to a combination of heat, stress, and dehydration as possible causes of early labor. When it comes to weathering the heat, the CDC advises seeking shade, scheduling breaks in outdoor activity, and drinking plenty of fluids. With this Medical Minute, I'm Em Nguyen, ABC News.
Tesla's second quarter net income fell 45% compared with a year ago. The company's global electric vehicle sales tumbled despite price cuts and low interest financing. It was the Austin company's second straight quarterly net income decline. Second quarter revenue rose 2%, beating Wall Street estimates. Earlier this month, Tesla said it sold over 443,000 vehicles from April through June. That's down 4.8% from the same period a year ago. Yellowstone National Park officials confirmed a hydrothermal explosion there this morning. Park authorities say the blast occurred in what they call the Biscuit Basin area, which is near Old Faithful. Some damage was reported, and the area around the incident is temporarily closed to the public due to safety concerns. No one was hurt. The USGS says these sorts of explosions occur when fluids transition to steam and expand, which can cause rocks and debris to be blown apart. Officials say there do not appear to be any signs of an imminent volcanic eruption.
Well, no volcanoes around here, but we have thunder and lightning to deal with. And even some going on now near Blessing up to about Wharton Ocampo along a weak boundary located right here. What about the rain chances for us tomorrow? They're back again. I'll give you the details coming up in your forecast. Hey, good evening, everyone. Let's take a look at that radar one more time. Has some lingering storms from about the Ward to Blessing area to near Wharton Ocampo. Why is this still here and all the others have able to fade away because there's a weak boundary over this exact location right here, a very weak stationary front that's keeping the lift in the atmosphere in that area and causing storms to last a little bit longer into the overnight hours. Because of this, there is a flood watch in effect for Jackson County, also Matagorda and Wharton counties until Wednesday afternoon and evening for the potential heavy rain there. We've had our heavy rain in this area already and more expected, so the flood conditions still could be very evident around there, especially when some of the heavier storms are moving on through. Looking at the whole big picture of the tropical Atlantic, not seeing much going on except for a few tropical waves there in the open Atlantic between the African coast and the Lesser Antilles. Here's the Caribbean Sea. Outside of that, it's totally clear in the Atlantic Basin. Hope it stays that way. And we have a weak tropical wave in the Western Gulf, which is impacting us. All this moisture is still moving its way toward the Texas coast where we are here. This is a combination with that weak frontal boundary over the region. That's why we anticipate more heavy rain for potential for your day tomorrow. And for the foreseeable future, this scenario is not really moving too much over the next several days with the stationary boundary over our region here. A lot of lift in the atmosphere because you see the storms kind of coming and going as they go toward the afternoon hours, especially, and fading a little bit, except for near the frontal boundary coming up for your day tomorrow like we had today. So keep that in mind as you're making your plans. Rain chances still about 80–90% over the region coming up for your day tomorrow for the next several days after that. And the rain totals, the closer you get to the coast, the better the rain chances will be and the higher amounts will be. Anywhere from 4 to 5 to 6 inches more than likely coming up by the time we get through your day on Wednesday. We run this model all the way through your day on Thursday, even into your Friday. It expands a little bit closer to the Victoria area, just south of Victoria along 59 and southward would be the best chance for rainfall, of course. And all the way through your Sunday and Monday. By the time we get to this point right here, we should begin to dry out a little bit. But good soaking rains throughout the majority of the Crossroads region, which definitely we need. Some of that falling a little bit too quick, too soon, which could lead to some localized flooding around here. Futurecast and radar, storms along the coast, really maximizing up by the time we get to 7 a.m. on your Wednesday, moving inland about that time as well. And as we get the daytime heating going, there'll be more of the inland areas coming up by 1 o'clock near Hallettsville and north of Victoria, moving to the east at that time. Still some lingering rain showers to the west here and there, but kind of dying down a little bit in the late evening and the overnight hours to fire up again tomorrow and the next day, running through Thursday into your Friday more than likely at that time. So keep that in mind as you're making your plans. Cloudy skies in Aquarial for you today tomorrow. High temperatures only in the mid-80s at best, with northerly winds on the other side of the front, but the rain chances still be alive coming up, heavy rain at times. So keep that in mind and watch your travel plans if you have anywhere to go and don't drive on the roads that are flooded. Port Lavaca, keeping the cloudy skies in place. Showers and thunderstorms likely once again, some producing heavy rainfall. 82 degrees, more than likely in the morning time will be your best chance. You'll see storms along the Calhoun County coast. Victoria as well, moving in from the coastal zones later on during the day and maximizing during the afternoon heating of the day. 83 degrees or so with the daytime high. Extended forecast for us, keeping the temperatures in the 80s, of course. Alert days for the next several days, Wednesday on right through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the potential for flooding around here with some of those heavier storms. 80–90% chance of rainfall right on through the weekend. Finally seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, if you will, coming up Monday and Tuesday with some dry air coming on through. Highs back above 90 by then as well with more sunshine in place by then. Until then, alert days all the way through the weekend. So be careful. The main threat will be flooding in around some localized areas, so please be careful out there if you're driving around. And of course, turn around, don't drown if you're coming across a road covered with water. Be sure you don't run through it. Turn around, don't drown, because we want you to remain safe and very safe, of course. And lows in the 70s. And here's this QR code to be connected with us. What you need to do is get your smartphone, scan the code you see right there, that take you to a web page. You can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, and it's free of charge to do so. Want to maximize your sports experience? Here is Max to do so.
I like that one there, Trey. That was a good one. But the Cuero Select Track Club prepares for the 2024 TAAF Summer Games. 25 News Now sports reporter Ray Robinson has the story in sports. The Cuero Select Track Club had 28 athletes competing for the TAAF Summer Games in Brownsville, Texas. This event will be held from July 25th through the 28th. 25 News Now sports reporter Ray Robinson went to Cuero to catch up with the club for the big event this weekend.
As the Texas Amateur Athletic Federation gets ready to have its summer-wide state track meet, the city of Cuero is doing likewise as they are getting ready to send 28 athletes to this event. Cuero has qualified in several track and field events. Of these qualified events are the boys 4x100 and the girls. Paisley Jensen is the longest tenured of the group and has tons of experience, but always remained focused on what's at hand.
Well, I like to do my breathing exercises. I focus on breathing in and out. I have very bad anxiety, so breathing's very important to me.
Gracie Martinez, one of the other veteran leaders of the team, although she's a vet, she is still heavily influenced by her coach's word of wisdom.
Really, some of the coaches been focusing on me with doing distance, and I'm the only one. So it's just been me by myself and then focusing on me.
Cuero is represented deeply in the kids sprinting category. Let's wish them good luck as they get ready for the Texas Amateur Athletic Federation Summer State Track Meet. They will be in Brownsville, Texas, Thursday through Saturday. Ray Robinson, KAVU TV, 25 News Now, Sports.
The Generals are back home tonight against the Baton Rouge Rougarou at Riverside Stadium. In the second inning, Generals number 17 Mark Heading hit a sacrifice RBI to deep center field and brought in Diego Diaz. And the Generals would take that a 1-0 lead, but then they would score another run after an errant throw by the Rougarou pitcher Cameron Hardbeck, and then center fielder Damian Whitfield would score, extending the lead to 2-0. The Generals right now are still up at this moment 3-1 in the top of the 7th inning, and they're trying to keep that #1 seed alive in the TLC take game 1 against the Rougarou. The Astros are back playing the A's in Oakland, trying to avenge last night's 4-0 loss. They had to get some work to start away because right now they are down 7-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And again, Caratini for the Athletics, he knocked a solo homer in the top of the 3rd to cut the lead. But the Athletics, they just kept pouring on some runs right now. And they picked it up with 2 runs in the top of the 4th inning. And they knocked out 4 home runs right now in this game. And again, we'll have full highlights for you for this one tomorrow for 25 News Now Sports at 6 p.m. High school football season is coming here in the Crossroads area. But before the season approaches, the Texas High School Coaches Association met yesterday to discuss some of the rule changes for this season. These were the horse collar tackles. Now anywhere on the field, even in the tackle box, it will now count as a 15-yard penalty. And also, there will be no more stand-up rushers on both field goals and extra point kicks. That means for all those players, they must be in a 3-point or 4-point stance when blocking a kick. And then just some information that we had tonight. Props out to Victoria Northeast for being the Southwest Regional Champions. And they are going to go now to the World Series in South Carolina. They actually leave tomorrow. And their first game will be on Saturday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. That's all in sports. Don and Karina, back to you.
Thank you, Max. By the way, the tournament that they won was played in Lockhart. It was supposed to be in Seguin, but
Weather.
You got it.
All righty. Well,
Congratulations
thank you,
to
Don.
them.
All righty, and stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, we're going to take a last look at your weather. Plus, a teen in Maine caught video of a whale breaching the ocean and slamming into a boat today.
This is a whale of a video. This amazing and frightening moment was caught on camera today. A whale suddenly breached the ocean surface and slammed into a boat, causing it to capsize. It happened off the coast of New Hampshire. A teen from Maine was fishing nearby with his older brother. 16-year-old Colin Yeager happened to be filming the water when the whale breached. No one was injured in the incident.
Ooh.
Wow. The 19th annual Missouri American Water MR340 race kicked off this morning in Kansas City. Have you heard of that place, Max?
I don't think I have.
Never have? Oh, okay. They said they know you. The race consists of more than 650 paddlers in kayaks, canoes, and other non-motorized boats. Paddlers spend 4 days on the Missouri River, traveling 340 miles from Kansas City to St. Charles. The race benefits Missouri River Relief and the Lewis and Clark Boathouse and Museum. Paddle on, young people, paddle on. Hey, we have 5 locations where our hurricane tracking guide can be picked up. Go to crossroadstoday.com, click on Weather, Hurricane Tracker, and you'll see it on your right. Below, Storm Prep 2024. Trey has one in his very adept hands.
Dandy.
And
Exactly.
that is it's not just a map, it's not just a tracking chart. They have a lot of information in there that is really good.
Exactly. This gets you ready for the season. I tell you what, you start by tracking the storms with a big map all the way out to the Atlantic Ocean to the Gulf of Mexico, the storm names for the year, the intensities, the vocabulary you need to go along with us about the history of the storms and what they may be doing, and most importantly perhaps evacuation routes right here, and also your list that you need to, you can put your kit together to take with you to evacuate, or you're going to stay home and ride out the storm. Everything you need to know are right here in this little packet right here, and it's free of charge, so we're looking after you.
No, absolutely, and you're looking after the rain too.
Exactly, yes. And it's very much going to be seen for the next several days down the road, all the way through the rest of the week. At least 90% chances coming up, especially during the day with the daytime heating at a maximum, starting along the coast in the morning time, and alert days all the way through the weekend because of possible flooding. Finally seeing a little bit of drying trend coming up by Monday and Tuesday.
Alrighty, thank you, Trey. Now, tomorrow is National Tequila Day. Tequila is made from fermenting the juice from the blue agave plant. The plant has a core called piña because it looks like a pineapple. And fun fact, in order to call the resulting drink tequila, it must be made in a specific area of Mexico. You can celebrate National Tequila Day with a shot if you're into that, or maybe make some margaritas or a tequila sunrise, but most importantly, do not forget to celebrate responsibly.
Okay, stupid question, because you mentioned in there piña. So is that involved in the piña colada?
It has to be, right?
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Oh, you're asking me for? I do not know the answer, Don, but I would imagine you should.
I'm not a mixologist, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Not that you would know, but maybe you heard it somewhere.
Yeah. Well, all right, you guys. Thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10.
Join us for 25 News Now Sunrise, 5 a.m. Good.